The following program has been furnished and paid for by You Build It. KCV is not responsible for its content or the products or services offered. Welcome to the Custom Home and Remodeling Show, brought to you by Jeffrey Harrington Homes, You Build It, and HDCHouseplans.com. Here's your host, Mark Jeffrey and Steve Iltis.
Good morning. This is Mark.
And this is Steve. Good morning.
And we're going to have a busy show for you today. We got a couple of different guests. In the first half of the show, we're going to be talking about how to get rid of those pesky mosquitoes in your yard. I was going to say backyard, but it could be anywhere around your house. So stay tuned for that. Our guest is from Mosquito Nix, and we'll be jumping into that in just a second. And then in the second half of the show, Shannon Vesto, our interior designer, is going to be joining us, and we'll be talking about the process and how she fits into the projects we're working on. Am I leaving anything out, Steve?
No, I think that you're hitting right on it. You know, one thing we want to talk about in the second, or I guess really the third and fourth segment, is how to get the process started.
Right.
I know a lot of people spend a lot of time thinking about this, and it seems a little overwhelming. They know they want a new home, but they really don't know where to start. So if you're out there and you're thinking that there's a new home in your future, make sure you tune into the rest of the show so that you can get some insight as to what you really need to do to get the process started. So
Right.
Hang on for that.
Right. Okay, so back to Mosquito Nix. We've got Jared Smith joining us. Glad you could make it, Jared.
Fellas, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we talked at the home show, and I know you guys, you and Steve, go back a ways. You've experienced their product and do on a daily basis.
Yeah,
right?
I do. I can definitely give a testimonial for this one. I've had the system for a couple of years now, and I don't know if there's anybody out there that likes mosquitoes. I haven't met anybody yet that likes mosquitoes, and I really enjoy the outdoors. You know, I have a lot of outdoor space in my backyard. I can go sit out there and relax and not get bit by mosquitoes. And this time of year, I don't think there's very many people that can do that.
Right. So, Jared, tell us a little bit about yourself and Mosquito Nix.
Yeah. Well, I've been with the company since 2012. I absolutely love what I do. It is a passion. It's one of those things you get to wake up every morning and you're like, what do I get to do today to help people enjoy their backyards again?
Yep.
And so I love doing that. People spend a lot of money in their backyards, whether it's a pool or having nice furniture, a fire pit, or they just like having beautiful landscaping. And I get to come in and I get to help them enjoy it. So by getting rid of their mosquitoes.
And it is mostly backyards, though. I mentioned anywhere, but
Yeah, it's
primarily backyards.
Mostly backyards. We do take care of the front yards, especially in certain parts of town where they have a fenced-in front yard.
Yeah, wherever they're outdoors.
Yeah, wherever they're outdoors. We take care of people that have, 5, 10, 15 acres. We take care of facilities such as, the scrap yard or the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion. We keep those areas mosquito-free for their clients.
Absolutely. When we're designing and building these homes, Mark, we know how important this outdoor space is to people. And I guess my thought is the amount of money, like Jared said, the amount of money people spend in that space to think that you can't use it because a pesky mosquito won't let you use it. That's a pretty big deal. And so I definitely mention it to my clients. And I think that just like everything else we talk about, that's something that needs to be added into the budget.
Right.
Yep.
And so tell us a little bit about the system itself for people that, haven't really looked into this. What's involved in the design, the installation, the maintenance, all those aspects.
Yeah, so we set a consultation with you guys to meet you at your home, and we walk through. We customize the system. We use what we call slimline nozzles, and we design a system to eliminate mosquitoes from living and breeding on your property. If they're not living and breeding on your property, then you can go outside. You can enjoy your pool, your patio, your fireplace, your pergola for several hours on end before even seeing a mosquito. And then you have a remote control to do a little extra added boost.
Mm-hmm. So if you're going to be out all day on the 4th of July, then you might have an extra.
If it's just you and your family out there, you might see 1 or 2 mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are attracted to carbon So whenever there's a lot of people in a backyard, you have mosquitoes coming over from the neighbors' yards, from the surrounding areas, but you have that remote control for that added repellency. So with that, we design a system. We want to take care of the perimeter, the landscaped areas, and the covered areas. If we can take care of those by installing a system that contains of 1/4-inch nylon tubing that's UV protected coating, it's the highest grade quality product you can get out there on the market. It's rated for 400 PSI. We run our systems at about 200 PSI. We install a nozzle roughly every 10 feet or 8 feet, depending on the thickness of the landscaping that we're in. Exclusive copper riser configuration, so that way they patine nicely. They look like a fixture in your landscaping and not just something in your, what is that? It's designed to not only be effective, but look good as well.
So let's talk about your system, Steve. So your backyard is how big? Do you have?
It's a fairly small backyard. I think I have a 25 nozzle system, if I remember correctly. I have a tank that's on the side of my house. So basically, how big is that tank?
It is a 55-gallon reservoir.
Okay.
It is 22 inches tall, 22 inches in diameter and 32 inches tall. So the control unit sits on a sealed box on top of the reservoir, and it's 55 gallons mixed with product.
So basically, mine is set for, I think, 3 times a day, maybe 45 seconds, if I remember correctly. The system kicks on, it pressurizes the system, it sprays, and I want to talk about what it's actually spraying here in a minute, because I think that's going to be something important for people to know. But basically, it sprays out the pesticide, and then like Jared said, if any time you want to actually activate the system with a remote, you can do that. I keep it in my drawer in my kitchen. I can reach in there and push the button, and my system will go off. So the system pressurizes. It goes off in the morning and then twice in the late afternoon and once in the evening, and it works great. I haven't had any problems. Several things to get into. I want to talk about what that chemical actually is, but then I also want to kind of give a testimonial to the professionalism of the service people that come out to my house on a regular basis. To me, that's a big thing. They're on top of it. I've never ran out of chemical, and they ask me questions. Are you seeing any mosquitoes? What's the situation? They inspect the system, and they give me kind of a little summary of what they did, and it really works out well. So talk a little bit about what it is that people would be spraying in their yard, because I know that's a concern for people.
Right.
Yeah.
So we use a botanical product called pyrethrum. This is one of the products that we use. It is the #1 rated product to get rid of mosquitoes in the residential areas. We also use other botanical products. We also use some natural oil products, such as a product that consists of rosemary oil and peppermint oil. So it smells wonderful, and it does a great job of repelling, flushing out, and killing mosquitoes.
So this is kind of taking a natural approach, using natural products versus just pumping a lot of toxic chemicals into the air.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good. I think it's important that people know that, because I had that concern when I was considering the system, and we'll pick up on that when we come back to the break. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Do you love modern and contemporary architecture? If you do, check out 2020 Homes. We love modern and contemporary homes. We even have a model home that you can visit to see our work firsthand. We have built many homes in the Houston area, so we can design and build one to fit your lifestyle. Please visit our website, 2020 Homes. Our website is www.20-20homes.com, or call us at 713-626-9984. That's 713-626-9984.
Hi, this is Steve Iltis with HDCHousePlans.com. My Texas-based design firm has been designing custom homes since 1991. 25 years of experience has given me the ability to create good sense plans that are not only practical, but unique to each client. Listening to your ideas and understanding your vision for your new custom home is my most valuable strength. Contact me today so I can explain the process of having a custom home designed. I'm looking forward to talking to you and answering any questions you may have.
Contact Steve today at HDCHousePlans.com.
Shopping around for a mortgage man? Call Larry 2 with Commonwealth Mortgage at 281-381-5373. specializing in construction and remodeling lending. Commonwealth Mortgage is here to help you. They give personal and prompt attention you deserve because they understand that for many of us, buying a home is the single largest investment decision we will ever make. Their goal is to make the loan process as simple and worry-free as possible, and they take pride in offering the highest level of customer service. Call Larry 2 with Commonwealth Mortgage at 281-381-5373. That's 281-381-5373.
This is Dave Ramsey. Before you hire a contractor or a service provider, go to checkapro.com. And don't miss the Check a Pro radio show right here on KSEV with your host, Jim Clout. Jim is the founder of Check a Pro and is committed to bringing the best contractors to you every Saturday afternoon at 5. That's checkapro.com for pre-qualified contractors in Houston. Checkapro.com.
Nestled in the southwest corner of beautiful Lake Conroe, the estates of Mia-Lago sit serenely as the last land parcel with available waterfront. The Century 21 Olympian New Home Development Team is now working with 15 development partners and takes pride in being the preferred real estate firm for the estates of Mia-Lago. For information, call 832-975-7701 and ask for Cecilia or visit our website at mialagohomes.com. Century 21 Olympian, the estates of Mia-Lago, and beautiful Lake Conroe, a winning combination just for you.
Welcome back. This is the Custom Home and Remodeling Show here on AM 700. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get right back into it. When we went into break, we were talking about the chemicals that are used, but before we get into that, just real quick, I want Jarrett to give out his contact information. If this is something that you're interested in and just have more questions, or you want to schedule a visit to your property by Jarrett, then he's going to tell you how to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can give our office a call at 713-682-9900. Again, 713-682-9900. Or you can reach us at nobites.com.
Nobites.com. Very clever. All right. We were talking about the chemicals that are used. These are not harsh chemicals.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's the same active ingredient that you find in Adam's Flea and Tick shampoo, but it is 6.5 times safer than Adam's Flea and Tick. It's also the same product that's used in Lysotrol for whenever your little ones get lice. Heaven forbid that. And that's 11.5 times safer than that product.
Okay. Yeah, one thing that I've noticed is around my backyard, some of my friendly critters out there seem to be fine. I have more lizards than I've ever had before. A lot of people don't like bees, but bees are good for that you have, and I have plenty of those. A couple of things that I have noticed in addition to not having mosquitoes is I don't have that many ants, and it seems like fewer spiders. And one thing I think that's really cool is I don't have any dirt dauber nests or webs under my soffits. That's it's just a kind of a deterrent, right? So they don't want to set up shop there.
Right. So the product is specifically formulated to kill mosquitoes, ticks, fleas, whiteflies, gnats, no-see-ums, large tree roaches, and it will even kill spiders if it lands on them. But spiders are mostly a contact kill insect only. But yeah, you're right. The product that we use is definitely a great repellent for wasps, dirt daubers, because usually we're installing the nozzles where those insects would be building homes.
Absolutely. I want to jump into something we probably should have started with, and that's a little bit of history about the company. I've had a great experience with mosquito nicks. I think it's important that if this is something that you're going to do, you deal with a company that's been around, that's reputable, and has awesome service, which y'all do. So tell us a little bit about the company itself. Yeah,
well, earlier, Steve, you talked about people being able to sit out in their backyards, in their beautiful backyards that they've invested a lot in, and they can't do it because they don't have a way to control the insect population. And so that's how we got started. Our owner and founder in Dallas was sitting outside and thinking, what if I had a big Canaveloff on a train set going around my house?
Oh, really? That's cool.
And so
I may do that.
Yeah.
That's exactly how we got started out. 2 years later, we're here in Houston. They spent a year in Dallas and then moved to Houston in 2004. So Mosquito Nix established itself 2002, its first install in 2003, moved to Houston in 2004, and now we're in 389 different cities, 9 different countries, and we are the pioneers and innovators of mosquito control as you see it today. So you're dealing with a company that invests quite a bit into its employees, into its education every single year. We have ongoing education, not only with our office staff, but with our sales force, with our technician and our install crew. They're constantly being educated, not just to how to do service, but how to control insects. They're all licensed with the Texas Department of Agriculture, and they're insured. They're taken care of, and they can answer any question on site from the homeowners.
Yeah, that's great. You mentioned before when you were talking about the owner of the company how interactive he is and innovative he is, and it sounds to me like he's kept a small company mentality, but obviously y'all have grown substantially and became a really large company.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, you mentioned that you in contact with the owner of the company on a regular basis, and I think that's good. I've definitely seen. I've definitely felt like I'm dealing with a mom and pop type company, but I know it's not. I know it's a big company, so he's done a great job. So I applaud him for that.
Right.
100% satisfaction guarantee. What does that mean?
Yeah. So for any system that we install on your property, we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied with it, we will come out and remove that system, and we will refund your money. Now, the 4 years that I've been with the company, I have not had a single system removed. And I don't think Houston has had a single system removed since 2008.
Wow. And it should start performing from day one, from the first time you turn it on. It's not like it has to get warmed up or anything.
Yeah, so our promise is 98% mosquito control, but it takes about 2 weeks to get to that 98% control.
So you do have
So
to
you
run
start
it a
out
while.
at about 85, 90%, but we also couple that with one of our other treatments as a kickstart. We call it a barrier spray treatment, or with our company, we call it a quick nix.
Very clever.
Yeah. So we do both we do that service on the install to kind of reinforce the system, because it takes the life cycle of a mosquito is about 7 to 10 days.
Gotcha.
And so we have to go through every life cycle because the system is only designed to kill the adults.
Very good. Yeah, where do we go from here? I think that
the types of mosquitoes, I was curious about that.
Oh, yes.
'Cause there's
Who are we fighting? So here in Houston, we primarily have 3 mosquitoes that we're dealing with.
so far.
So far. And then we have, down on the coastal areas, we have the salt marsh mosquito, which is a beast in its own right. So we have the house mosquito, or what the actual name is the Culex mosquito. It's the one that carries West Nile virus. So it is a dusk and dawn feeder. It is the female that is the one that sucks the life out of you. So
No comment.
the blood. So yeah. So they are they're active mornings and evenings, and it's the female that bites you in every mosquito. The males, and whenever females are not feeding for their blood meal to lay their eggs, they're nectar eaters. Okay. And so then we have the most pesky one of them all is the Asian tiger mosquito. Came over here in 1985 by an Asian cargo ship, and it has just totally infested the Houston area and it's active 24 hours a day. So it is your daytime, and it actually, when you come across the Asian tiger on your property, they don't actually need standing water to lay their eggs in. They lay their eggs in the soil, and whenever you water your lawn with your irrigation system or you have heavy rains, those eggs turn into larvae and they come to life, and they're adults within 3 to 4 days.
Well, that's interesting. I actually didn't realize there were that many different types of mosquitoes that we're dealing with. I just thought a mosquito was a mosquito. So you have to, but I have noticed down on the coast, those one that looks like small birds. That's probably that. That coastal one you're talking about, right?
That salt marsh mosquito, it has adapted to wind. So most mosquitoes are terrible flyers, including the yellow fever mosquito, which carries the Zika virus. Terrible flyer. But the salt marsh mosquito, on the other hand, it's in a windy environment all the time. It will swarm over large bodies of water, and you can actually see them swarming like a flock of birds over the water. Yeah. And so, but the product that we use takes care of them as well.
I'm thinking, if I'm a listener right now and I'm hearing this, I'm thinking, I don't want mosquitoes. I would really like to get rid of them, but I don't have any idea what this is going to cost. Is this something that's affordable? I know that your systems range from very small systems. Like I think the system I have is a fairly small system, and I know you do, like you said, major complexes. But can you give people some insight as to what kind of cost it would take on an average size home to get a system like this?
Yeah, the systems themselves, with our discounts and promotions that we run from time to time, can start out at about $2,000, and then they can go from there to up to $100,000
Right.
Or more. But I would say the average system is about $3,000, give or take.
Okay, so that's average. And then there's a monthly service, and I don't mind sharing information about my system. I pay, with tax included, it's about $103 a month. So I'm paying basically $1,200 a year to be able to use my outdoor space, which I do every day. So if you're out there and you're kind of wondering, what does this cost? You have that initial cost that can range from $2,500 to $35, kind of maybe as a range in there.
Absolutely.
And then after that, you do have a monthly expense. But man, you start enjoying your outdoor space again, and it's hard to put a value on that when you spend all that money to build it.
And Stephen, with that service, it's not just we're going to come out and refill. It is a full, thorough inspection of your system. We repair leaks. We change out nozzles that have clogged. We look for conducive conditions. If there's standing water on your property, we do larvicidal treatments, and we do granulation in landscaped areas that aren't seem to be getting a lot of coverage with the system. And then it includes a lifetime warranty on the system. So whenever you're on the service with us, which is about 95% of our clientele that purchases the system, go with the service, you have a lifetime warranty. So no matter how long you have the system, you have a warranty for the life of the system.
Yeah, I know when they show up at my house, there's a person wearing a Mosquito Nix shirt. I know who it is because otherwise I probably wouldn't open the door. They're very professional. They tell me who they're with, which I already know because I saw their shirt. They explain to me that what they're about to do. They want to make sure that it's okay that they go in the backyard. They go and they perform their service, and then they leave a checklist on my door of exactly what they did.
I'm sorry, we're coming up on a break. I want to give you another chance to give out your contact information to our listeners.
Yeah, you can give our office a call and speak to Natalie at 713-682-9900, or you can reach us at nobites.com.
All right, so we've got just a few more seconds. I think we pretty much covered it. New construction, is there an advantage to installing the system during new construction?
Yeah, with your new construction, when your electrical system is going in, give us a call. We can do a pre-construction install, so that way you're not seeing any tubing or anything like that. You just see the tip of the nozzle, and it's good to go.
I knew we would run out of time before we covered it all. That's a whole other subject right there. So hopefully we can have you back at another time. But appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah,
and
Steve,
your information will be posted on our website. So for our listeners, they always know they can go to charshow.com and find out contact information from our guest. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Steve, Mark, thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, our pleasure. Thank you.
In your hands, you build it.
Contact You Build It to sign up for their next home building seminar. Visit the website at youbuildit.com or call 713-626-9980. That's 713-626-9980 for the Galleria office.
Your home's in your hands, you build it.
Do you have a home in need of room additions, patio covers, kitchen, or bath remodeling? Trust a company that's been serving Houston and surrounding areas since 1997. Reliant Construction has an A rating with a BBB. Reliant Construction believes in quality products, craftsmanship, and remember this, Reliant Construction never collects money up front. This will give you peace of mind. Reliant Construction will provide all construction drawings, engineering, and permits. Visit ReliantConstruction.net or call 281-789-4308. Again, ReliantConstruction.net. Call 281-789-4308 to start your project today.
Hi, this is Steve Iltis with HDCHousePlans.com. My Texas-based design firm has been designing custom homes since 1991. 25 years of experience has given me the ability to create good sense plans that are not only practical, but unique to each client. Listening to your ideas and understanding your vision for your new custom home is my most valuable strength. Contact me today so I can explain the process of having a custom home designed. I'm looking forward to talking to you and answering any questions you may have.
Contact Steve today at hdchouseplans.com.
Shopping around for a mortgage man? Call Larry 2 with Commonwealth Mortgage at 281-381-5373. Specializing in construction and remodeling lending, Commonwealth Mortgage is here to help you. They give personal and prompt attention you deserve because they understand that for many of us, buying a home is the single largest investment decision we will ever make. Their goal is to make the loan process as simple and worry-free as possible, and they take pride in offering the highest level of customer service. Call Larry 2 with Commonwealth Mortgage at 281-381-5373. That's 281-381-5373.
This is Dave Ramsey. Before you hire a contractor or a service provider, go to checkapro.com. And don't miss the Check a Pro radio show right here on KSEV with your host, Jim Clout. Jim is the founder of Check a Pro and is committed to bringing the best contractors to you every Saturday afternoon at 5. That's checkapro.com for pre-qualified contractors in Houston. Checkapro.com.
And we are back. We are live here on AM 700. This is the Custom Home and Remodeling Show. Mark Jeffrey, myself, Steve Iltis, and Shannon Vestal has joined us in the studio. Hi, Shannon. How are you?
Good morning. I'm
Yeah,
good.
It's been a while since you've been on with us.
I know it has been, but I've been super busy with a lot of remodeling projects, and then, of course, all of Mark's projects that are coming to fruition.
Our team, yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they are starting to get in the selection phase on a lot of those. So I think we've cleared lots, and so I'm getting a lot of emails from Becky and so forth to say, hey, what's what's going on with
permits in hand,
these?
they're breaking ground. So
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we were we bring those projects, and that's another thing too. We got several things to talk about. You know, I know you're really busy, Shannon, and I am too. We have a lot of projects that we're currently working on, but Mark and I were talking. You know, the summer months, things do slow down a little bit as far as new projects. People are vacationing and they're preoccupied. The kids are out of school and they're doing other things. But, you know, we still have those projects that we, you know, are currently working on. But as far as new stuff, things slow down a little bit.
well, it's the opposite for me.
Is it?
This is the busy time
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
So I have people that want to get it done during the summer remodeling so that it doesn't affect the school year.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see how that could be. But what I was thinking about, you know, from starting the process from a design standpoint and starting the feasibility study that you do, Mark, this would probably be a good time for somebody to schedule an appointment and come in and visit with us. And, you know, we'll talk a little bit about how you start the process, you know, all of us taking the team approach and giving people all the information that they need up front so they can really make some solid decisions. I think this
Just
is a good time to do it.
information gathering
Yeah.
stage. Just come in for a meeting. I always encourage people to come meet with us early because we can help them with all the, you know, there's a lot of important decisions to be made very early in a project, like land selection, plans, financing, those kind of things. And we like to point people in the right direction, let them know that they've got a team that's going to work with them through that entire process.
Absolutely. You know, so even, you know, like we were talking with Jarrett earlier in the show, you know, it's not a huge expense to have a mosquito system put in, but it is an expense. And if it's something that people want, that's how detailed we get in these budgets. If it's going to be an expense that goes into the house, go ahead and get it in there. Spend some time with Shannon and really get a good feel for, you know, some of the amenities that you want in your house so you can really start getting that budget where it needs to be and making good, solid decisions so that you know where every dollar is going into your new home.
I think that's one of the most important things, especially for the piece of it that I'm working on is when you initially come in to meet with Mark, if you have kind of some ideas of what you want the house to look like, you will have pictures of cabinets that you like, that helps with establishing the budget. Because if we don't, and then we start saying, okay, let's go shopping for cabinets, and you've got a $20,000 cabinet budget, and the cabinets you show me are going to be $50,000, then we've got a problem. Because when I show you what $20,000 worth of cabinets looks like, that could be an issue. So any kind of information you can bring, whether it's torn out of a magazine, whatever, photos online, the more information you can bring to Mark, the better.
Absolutely, yeah, because we've mentioned that so many times on the show. You don't want to get way into this process and then find out what stuff cost. Because, I always kind of use the example when I go to a store and look at something, I say, I really like that. And then I pick it up and look at the price. So, yeah, maybe I don't like it that much. And I put it back and I walk away. Or I may say, yeah, that's something that is affordable and I purchase it. I think it's the same thing with the house. You can look at these pictures that when we see these fancy pictures that people print out off of the internet, they don't know what it cost. Sure, they want it, but when they find out what it costs, they may have to reevaluate that and be a little bit more realistic. If it's in the budget, great. If it's not in the budget, you need to know so that when you proceed forward, the dream home really can come true versus being let down, 5-6 months into the process when you really get real and find out what some of these items cost.
Right, and I do think it's important, especially like we're talking about here, custom homes. There's a reason you're building a custom home, and that is to be able to make it exactly how you want it. It means you don't have to go to a quote-unquote design center and here are your choices and have to feel like you're
3
settling.
choices, right,
exactly.
right.
Or you can have that tile, but it's 6 levels up from what is in the budget. So if you can get an interior designer involved in the very beginning, they're going to be able to help you with the budget as well, because they're going to be familiar with what materials cost.
It's a huge stress relief at the end of the project, and it's easy for us to sit here and say it, but it's the absolute truth is getting you involved and making sure the selections are done from the start.
Correct. And I think things come up that people don't realize that they may need a designer's help with. I've got a house that I've been working on down in the Braes Heights area, and she's putting in real wood floors. Beautiful. And she contacted me the night before that they were going to be starting on the first floor. They laid everything upstairs. And then that night she texted me about 9 o'clock and said, Shannon, I'm thinking about putting a herringbone pattern in the entry. They're going to start tomorrow, but I thought I might run that by you. What do you think? And I said, I've got to come by there. I can't make this decision over the phone. I need to see it, and we need to talk this through with the installer. And so we did, and thank goodness I went. We ended up carrying it out through the living room, came up with a completely new design than what she in her mind thought she was going to do. Yes, it added a little bit more labor. Yes, it added a little bit more material, but it's turned out beautiful, and she's so happy about it. So it's not just initial selections. There's more to it than, well, we picked our wood floors. So
yeah, I think most people have no idea the extent of work that an interior designer does. I think you're right. They think that you pick out some colors and some selections at the center and you're done. When we're working together on the model home, some of the little detail things that we discuss, most people have no idea. That like I think the big topic that we talk about is where you begin and end certain finishes. Like for instance, when we put tile on a wall, we talk about how we want to end this.
Yes,
we don't want to look at the edge of this tile. Do they provide a bullnose piece? Do we do a Schluter strip?
Yes, and that's a more current.
Yeah.
The Schluter strips
Right.
are awesome, which is what we're going to be using on the model home.
Right.
Which gives it a much more modern look, but also a more current look.
Yeah, because of what we do, and I think we've mentioned this before, we probably notice things more, but when you're in a hotel or you're in a public restroom, look at the tile work and notice how often you can see the raw edge. I don't know if that's the proper term, the raw edge of a tile. It's an unfinished
edge, correct.
It's because they said that this tile will look good in here, go install it. and they didn't really know what they were doing, and they may have a beautiful tile and a beautiful facility, but then you see that edge,
and all you see
and
is
it
that
runs
edge.
the whole thing. And I'm thinking that was a lot of money spent, a lot of time spent, picking it out, but they blew it in the end because of a very small detail that could have been resolved.
Well, that's it. You don't see that on a floor plan.
No, you don't.
Even on elevation, the few elevations that you get from your architect, you're not going to see those types of things. So that's something that when an interior designer is spending time with you at the at the tile store, okay, now here's how the shower is designed. I just want to point out that at this point, your tile's going to end, and you can show them right there in the showroom. Here's what you're going to see. Are you happy with that? You're going to see the grout behind it. Little things like that a lot of times the people don't notice until the tile's going in. Even.
Right, and then at that point, you've got people out there working. They're ready to finish up the job and get paid and move on, and you realize that you overlooked something because you've never done it before.
And then you're incurring change orders,
absolutely,
which is adding more money.
Or you're living with it, and you look at it every day, and
yes.
your new home that you spend all this money on, and you're thinking, wow, I kind of blew it there. Maybe I should have dealt with somebody that has done this a few times before to get it right. So I think it's important.
One of the things I was going to add is when you're involved in those very early meetings in the design process, you're as much there to learn about what they want and help advise Steve in the design process, and also to point the clients into the right direction for some of their long lead items, for example, things that are going to be more difficult or need more time. So you're working both sides of that equation.
Yes. And I do think that's why it's important that why we've involved me early on in the meetings is so that, too, Steve can design the house even quicker. A lot of that stuff is answered up front, the whole process just moves quicker.
Yeah, one thing that I've always tell people is I can't design a house for somebody that I don't know. So I have to spend some time in the beginning getting to know my client a little bit. Because if I don't know them, I don't know what they want. Now, they can tell me the specifics, bedrooms, bathrooms, that they want a game room. But to make a house really custom, you need to know that person. So but there's only so much time that I can spend with them spending that time with me and spending time with you, Shannon. You and I can kind of compare notes and talk about things. And I can say, hey, I think this is something that they might like. What do you think? And you may say yes or no, or you may, but I think that they would even like this even more. So we can collaborate on that, working on their behalf to really try to make this house a true custom home. And of course, all of that information gets fed to Mark. So when he starts preparing those preliminary budgets, it's a lot more accurate.
Oh yeah, that's what we want. As quick as we can, get an accurate budget, get them in the right ballpark. So it's often a trade-off of higher level of finishes versus square footage. You can't have a lot of both of those. The price goes up accordingly. So if you're, many clients have a fixed budget, so we're juggling that equation to, balance square footage with the quality of the finishes.
And I do think another thing that we've done, we just did at the model home a month or so ago, is other things that they can incorporate their designer in is electrical walkthrough. We did that because we had done an initial view on the floor plan. Steve and I did, and marked where we wanted things. Went out there and went, wait a minute, why? There's not supposed to be a sconce there, and so it's important to go and make site visits, and do it with your project manager and maybe even the designer.
Absolutely. We'll pick up on that when we get back from the break.
Okay, this is the Custom Home and Remodeling Show. We do this show every Friday from 11 to 12 here on KSEV. We appreciate you tuning in, and when we come back, we'll be doing our weekly weather report. Stay tuned.
Houston, it's time to talk real estate. By now, you've heard talk about Realtor Jared Anthony, radio personality and Houston Realtor. If you have a home for sale and you need to sell it fast, award-winning agent Jared Anthony of iChooseJared.com is your answer. Out-of-the-box marketing strategies, no upfront fees, and get this, cancel the listing at any time and pay nothing. Or maybe you're looking for homes. iChooseJared.com is specifically designed to give you free access to the entire Realtor database. It's fast, free, and it adjusts to any mobile device. 832-570-5726 or go to iChooseJared.com.
Your home's in your hands, you build it.
Contact You Build It to sign up for their next home building seminar. Visit the website at youbuildit.com or call 713-626-9980. That's 713-626-9980 for the Galleria office.
Your home's in your hands, you build it.
Hi, this is Steve Iltis with HDCHousePlans.com. My Texas-based design firm has been designing custom homes since 1991. 25 years of experience has given me the ability to create good sense plans that are not only practical, but unique to each client. Listening to your ideas and understanding your vision for your new custom home is my most valuable strength. Contact me today so I can explain the process of having a custom home designed. I'm looking forward to talking to you and answering any questions you may have.
Contact Steve today at HDCHouseplans.com.
Do you love modern and contemporary architecture? If you do, check out 2020 Homes. We love modern and contemporary homes. We even have a model home that you can visit to see our work firsthand. We have built many homes in the Houston area, so we can design and build one to fit your lifestyle. Please visit our website, 2020 Homes. Our website is www.20-20homes.com or call us at 713-626-9984. That's 713-626-9984.
Shopping around for a mortgage man? Call Larry 2 with Commonwealth Mortgage at 281-381-5373. Specializing in construction and remodeling lending, Commonwealth Mortgage is here to help you. They give personal and prompt attention you deserve because they understand that for many of us, buying a home is the single largest investment decision we will ever make. Their goal is to make the loan process as simple and worry-free as possible, and they take pride in offering the highest level of customer service. Call Larry 2 with Commonwealth Mortgage at 281-381-5373. That's 281-381-5373.
All right, we're going to get back into it. We're going to get the travel report real quick. A couple of guests in the studio. Shannon's daughter Lauren is here, and my daughter Krista.
Hey guys.
My daughter Rachel
Girls.
and Krista were very upset last week. I told them I would mention them on the radio, and they listened to a whole hour, which I'm sure was torture to them, and I did not work it into the conversation, so I'm making up for it today. So
there's a microphone. Do y'all want to say hi to anybody?
Anybody want to do some radio time?
Come on, here's your big chance.
I've got a shy
Do
one
a cheer.
too. Now, when my younger one comes, Sarah will be all over it. We may not be able to get the mic away from her, but go ahead, Lauren.
Say hi to somebody.
Hello.
Use that one real quick.
Hi.
All right, back to business here.
Her radio
job, girls.
stars.
Good job, girls.
We won't tell them the comment we say for for Jared.
Yeah. All right, Mark, where are we going this week?
Oh, okay. So this is some really timely travel information if you've been listening to what's been going on in England, and who hasn't. So anyway, the weather report brought to you by Gail Casson at Windsor Travel Corp., a member of the Signature Travel Network. So in Houston, we know what the weather is, 95 degrees at least. In London, England, expecting clouds and highs 76 degrees. So that sounds nice, and I'll be headed that way soon. Do you know what else sounds appealing about London? The high dollar and the low pound make it a bargain. So I know people have been going to the exchange locations and getting some pounds and preparing for that trip. And if you want to have a fabulous trip in London or Europe or anywhere around the world, you need to contact Gail at Windsor Travel. The U.S. dollar has gained against other currencies over the past year, most recently the decline of the pound following the Brexit crisis and the market plunge in China. So at the same time, international airfares have softened from cheaper oil. So if that all sounds like a good time to travel, then It is. If you have a trip you want to take to Italy, we know we talk about that often. Gail is the expert on Italy. But anywhere, if you want a fabulous vacation, a river cruise, a cruise to Alaska, wherever, then give Gail a call at Windsor Travel, 713-627-0111, or you can email her at gail@windsortravel.com. And the third place to find her, always, all of our guests are on the Char Show website, CHARSHOW.com. All right.
Very exciting. So it's a beautiful place to go, and it's more affordable. It's a win-win.
Can't beat it.
Okay, Shannon, you've been really busy with remodeling.
I have been really busy with remodeling. Like I said earlier, this tends to be a busy time of year. Like I said, people want to get it taken care of before school starts and all the craziness starts back up. A couple of things I wanted to just talk to folks about when you're thinking about remodeling is I know there's some people that say, okay, we're just going to slap some new tile on the walls and that sort of thing. I do primarily master bathrooms and kitchens. That is the majority of my remodeling work. Now, I do have a couple of jobs starting here in the next couple of weeks that are going to be major flooring, which you really need to plan for. Those kinds of things may involve you moving to the upstairs of your house, may involve you. One of my clients, it was an actual refrigerator leaked, and instead of flowing forward onto the tile, it flowed back under the wall and into the dining room on the wood floors. So we have about 1,800 square feet of wood floors that have to be taken up. So the homeowner's going to have to move out. So it's a big job. So having plans and how the whole process is going to work, make sure you're hiring the right contractor that understands we need to get you back in your house as quickly as possible. That particular job, we are going to be doing a few other things in the house, but my main goal is to get the old floors torn out, the new wood floors put in, they can move back in, and then we can continue. Even if we're doing baseboards and that sort of thing, they can be back in the house and not living in a hotel. A lot of bathrooms and kitchens. Again, like we talked about on even building a new home, do your research. Look at different materials, what makes sense for a backsplash in a kitchen. A raw travertine does not. It's going to stain. Things like that. We're doing a master bathroom where we've actually changed the footprint of it a little bit. We're keeping their existing floor because that was just a whole nother expense, but we've taken out an existing linen closet and enlarged the shower and built cabinetry on a wall that was just a dead space between the closets. So things like that. I mean, again, that's where you can get a designer involved, or some of the contractors that I know can make some suggestions like that for you. The guys that do a lot of my work have worked with me long enough that I think they can walk into some of these jobs and make suggestions on their own without me even being there.
Yeah, something that we talk about in the design phase, and sometimes we're a little ways into it before we get to this topic, which we probably should get to it sooner, is these transitions in floors. For instance, somebody might say, man, we really love wood floors, and then they say, but we want tile in our kitchen. And with these open concept houses that we have, these rooms flow together, and sometimes there's just not a good place to make that transition. So sometimes we would encourage people to select one flooring material throughout that area.
The good thing now, sorry to interrupt you, the good thing now is that a lot of the tile that's being manufactured now is thicker than it used to be.
Right.
So that you can make that transition without having to have transition strips.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I was also thinking of just the location of that transition. Sometimes there's not a good place to make that transition. Sometimes it would have to be diagonal, for instance, or it's just in an awkward place where the back of your bar stool would be on a different material than the front two legs of the bar stool. So those are type of things that, from a design standpoint, I can adjust the plan sometimes if I know that information.
Well, that's something you and I, like you say, with us talking to the clients in the very early stages when you're starting to design the house, that's something I can say to them. What type of floors are you thinking about going with? If they say, oh, we want to take wood throughout, okay, if not, if they say I want tile in the kitchen and wood in the family room, we all know that most of these new homes are very open concept, and that is generally one
That makes it tough. Yep.
gigantic room with a big island that divides it. So that's going to be an issue there. And are you going to be okay with where the floor's got to be, the materials have to be split up?
Absolutely. I wanted to mention something, people that are considering doing this, we talk about all the different aspects of the team approach. Whenever you come in for a consultation about your new home, these are the things that, now we may not get to flooring on that first meeting, but we kind of tell you, kind of give you a roadmap of the things that you will be talking about in the future, things to think about. Some people get a little overwhelmed because they feel like they need to know everything from the very beginning. I've had people tell me, we're still really working on this, and when we're ready, we'll come talk to you.
Right.
And I'm thinking, we need to be working on this together. Don't feel like you have to come hand us all of this information. What I found is if people spend too much time with that, sometimes they get blinders on a little bit to other ideas. Come in, whatever stage you're in. Maybe this is something you've been thinking about for years, or maybe it's something that's just brand new to you. Come in and get the information so that you can be informed when you're making these decisions, and don't feel like you have to have it all figured out.
Right.
I give the example, I've had people come in and they start telling me which rooms they want ceiling fans in. I'm like, you know what? I don't even know what rooms we have yet. I promise we will have that discussion, but initially we need to start with the basics. Where are you building? Let's take a look at that property. What size house are you talking? Let's talk about your family, your long-term plans. Is this the last house that you want to build? Do you need to age in place? All of those things. There's a ton of things to talk about, and because there's so many things, it's very likely that we could miss something that one of the other parts of the team contributes. Like, for instance, I may not remember to ask that question about the flooring because I'm trying to focus on how to fit the house on the lot, for instance. And so having Shannon there to really key in on that and make sure that we cover every little detail, I think is important. So if it's something you're considering, let's do it.
We're about to run out of time. I did want to mention one of our favorite projects that we've been talking about for months now. It was a model home.
Absolutely.
So this weekend is the ideal time if you want to get out and go see a spectacular home in a really spectacular setting. It's in Crown Ranch. It's our model home. You go to the sales office at the entrance, and they will take you in to see the model. So if you want to see a spectacular modern architecture home designed by Steve and interior design by Shannon, and of course we're the builder, so you've got a great opportunity. It's in just north of Magnolia. Right. In Montgomery and Grimes County. It shares those two counties. And so from where we're at on the west side of town, it's less than an hour drive, probably 45 minutes. From the Woodlands, it's 30-minute drive. Get out in the countryside and enjoy the rolling hills. And from downtown Magnolia, it's just 4 miles north. So go to crownranch.com and give them a call, or just go out and they'll get you in to see it. Anything else?
Thanks again to Jared Smith with Mosquito Nix. Thank you, Shannon, for coming in. It's always good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be back same time next week
on
the Custom Home and Remodeling Show. See you then.